Hello, soapy friends. I'm Kandra, and welcome to Wet Soap Wednesday Live. And we have all sorts of fun stuff to talk about today. Oh, first up, you don't need the gloves just yet. I do have these out. These are the Anti-Alkanet soap samples. So we made these in the live. I'm going to flip over so you can see them. These are all cured up, and the last part of the master class is we're going to review all the soaps and do some lather tests, and I think I'm going to do it live. So we're going to do it next week on Wednesday, so I won't have a Wet Soap Wednesday live here on Facebook, but there will be a Zoom for anyone that is already in the master class, or if you want to join and participate in that, you can go ahead and hop in and purchase that over on the website to get the full class. But check these out. These are all the color changes, and we're going to talk about each and every one of them and do lather tests. But what I'm most excited about and why I decided to do it live with y'all on Zoom is this one right here. I can't wait to talk to y'all about what happened there. I think it's going to be a really, really great class, and I do think the lather tests and color reveal after cure for all the master classes are going to be live from here on out. The last one was pre-recorded and uploaded, but I think I'm going to do them on Zoom so I can hang out with y'all. So today we are going to be making some Kaleidoscope soap. I have a super silly confession as I was getting set up. I left the oils on the warmer for a long time. I mean, I turned the warmer off, but I forgot to take the oils off. So we're still a little bit hot here. I'm just popping this back into the freezer. I'm just trying to do a quick chill on it. So while that is chilling, let's look at our silly, crazy floating soaps. I'm super excited about these. Okay. These are what I call my refreshed soaps. I don't know why, I just came up with a fun name. These are from the Salting Out Soap tutorial. Both of these are made from soap that had something wrong with it, and I salted it out. Full details are in the tutorial, but then I turned them into new soaps. Okay, this is what is super fun about these. Ready? Okay, so this is my go-to vegan recipe, the oatmeal and calendula formulation that is up on the site in that tutorial as well. And I'm going to hold up so you can see from both cameras. So I'm just going to drop it in the water, and it sinks. It just sinks down to the bottom. So that's what happens with soap as I make a big mess. Got to reach my hand in to get it out. I'm just going to go pour it out. Hold on. So the soap, that sunk. Handmade soap sinks. So who cares if handmade soap sinks? Well, if you're in the bathtub and your soap sinks to the bottom and then you're swishing around looking for your bar of soap, not super fun. Now let's look at this bar of soap. You guys, y'all know if it makes me giggle, I giggle a lot over it. Look at it. It floats. Bloop. I'm going to push it down. Bloop. Easier to get floating soap out. This one's really fun. The two colors in here are, that's kind of explained to the tutorial as well, but it had to do with the water and glycerin content when I did it. But ready? Okay, I'm going to drop it in. Bloop. And it'll spin. If I had a bigger bowl, look, it always goes late side up. I mean, I don't know why, but I'm just having so much fun playing with these little suckers. I don't normally do baths. I'm more of a shower gal, but this almost makes me want to take a bath. Floating soap. Okay, I'll pop that out and stop playing with floating soaps. But I just wanted to share those with you. This one is up on the tutorial. This one was not cured. The oval one here, it was not cured when I recorded that portion of the tutorial. So it didn't float as well. It kind of, you know, it sunk some, but as the water finished evaporating during the cure, it floats like a champ. I just think those are super fun. That's the tutorial that I popped up on the site for you last week. It has my what I call to-go soap crumbles, so you can take your soap with you and just grab a bunch to wash in your hand. It has the floating glycerin refresh soaps, and it also has the recipe for laundry soap, as well as all the explanations, details, and maths for salting out your soap. I think it's super fun. All right, next up, we can actually get to the topic, our Kaleidoscope pull-through soaps that we're going to make. Yay! Oh, let's grab all of our goodies and get setting up. I am, again, using my go-to vegan palm-free recipe. We're going to use this super awesome disc from Chas at Wild Plantanica. Oh, in the description to the video, there's a reminder. You can use the coupon code. It's really hard to remember. It's called Soapy Friends over on Chas's website, Wild Plantanica, and also on her Etsy site. And she has... All right, so what we're going to be putting in this, we have some, this is the annatto infused oil. This is my Alkanet. I've got everything pre-measured out for us. Now, I think these two look pretty similar. This one is just olive oil. This one is Himalayan rhubarb. So we'll get a lot of fun magic shows today as we set up our 4 different colors. So we'll have some orange, some purple, some white-ish, and some pink-ish. And I'm saying that ish because we're doing a couple things. One, I'm going to add some essential oils. So this is a blend from Penny that I absolutely love, and it has, well, let me just grab it. I wrote it down on my bottle. It is 2 parts cedarwood, 1.5 parts geranium, 1.5 parts patchouli. And it is the dark patchouli, and it's been sitting for a while. Oh, like months, if not a year. So that dark patchouli has gotten even darker. So we might get some discolorization from this wonderful blend, but it's totally worth it because it mimics a sandalwood aroma. Next up, we're also putting in here, this is what I used for my lye water. Something weird floating on it. This is what I used for the lye water. This is potato water. Okay, I don't know why y'all wanted me to use potato water. Like, there must have been something going on. Someone was very curious about it and what would happen in handmade soap with potato water. So it's full of starches. It is going to definitely give us a fun, silky, kind of boosted lather. And I hope you can see in here, I have a lot of the starch kind of floating on top, but you see that color in there? That is from the starches kind of scorched when the lye was added. Now, the potato water, when I added the sodium hydroxide to it, and this is again the color of the potato water, this was frozen and it's still scorched. So this is yellower than I would even say a milk soap would be. Oh, I kind of got it stirred there. You see it's pretty gosh darn orange in there. So I'm not sure what that's going to do to all of our colors here. But I did have a request over in the group for potato water soap, so that's what we're doing. So we're going to do Kaleidoscope potato water, fake sandalwood smelling soap. Hopefully it all works out. Let me check on our temperatures of our oils, and then I'll also check comments. We're still pretty warm in here. I might just go for it and soap really fast because that does give us some, it's always good to see different things happening, and sometimes you have to work with fast moving recipes. So, I mean, we can pretend this one's fast moving and see what happens. I think we will. So I'm at 139, and I think that'll cool down a bit more as I'm splitting everything up. So I'm going to go ahead and go for it. But I am going to put an ice pack down on my table here to keep the tabletop cool too. That'll help. Just kind of getting some of these things out of the way so I don't make too much of a mess. All right. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, one more thing I wanted to do, I'll pop this back in the freezer while I do it, is last time we did this, everyone asked about how I put the straws on the bottles. I did one get bigger straws versus the pipettes. Last video we did the pipettes, and I wanted a longer tip, so I asked in the group or anything, and she was like, yeah, just use some straws. Yeah, of course, super simple. But I want to know how I got it, how I stuck it on. And because when you stick them on, of course, they're just going to pop right off. But what it did, it's just electrical tape. That's all this is. It is the easiest thing in the world to do. And you just tape them on. I know it looks super fancy. I bent it a little bit so I could get it to wrap around the top again because I am wrapping around a cone. So just get your tape to pop around. Now, when I was looking, see, the tape does kind of tend to untape from itself. But, I mean, not enough to, these aren't going to pop off on us or anything while we are making our soap. All right, so there's those. All right, we got that set up. We have our sodium hydroxide. I have everything pre-measured for us, so whew, fingers crossed this all goes well. Okay, so we are soaping warm. We are soaping warm. We are adding essential oils. None of these really do accelerate the trace of the soap. And I'm using a fairly low usage rate. I haven't had any major acceleration from this blend before, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm more worried about the temperature of the oil and the starch from the potato water accelerating the trace. If any of you are new soap makers and you're wondering what that acceleration I'm talking about is, it's just simply when you have something in your soap formulation that makes the chemical reaction speed up, so you accelerate the point at which you get to a thick trace. And if it's too much acceleration, you'll end up with what we call soap on a stick, where you're stick blending and then you just like, oh, my soap is literally stuck to my stick blender, and it's kind of a mess. That's something you definitely want to avoid at all possibility if you're trying to do an intricate swirl or design, which of course is what we're doing. And this cooled down really well. We're at 126, there's a 114. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I've got all of my colors split up here. I'm going to add the sodium hydroxide. I'm going to bring it to emulsion, so just before trace. And then I'm going to split this all up into these individual pitchers. We'll bring each one of those to a thickish trace, not like thick, maybe medium. And then we will make some awesome soap. And if all heck breaks out from this potato starch, then I guess I should have had a mold handy to just dump it all into, right? Oh, potato starch. I guess I should tell you what it is. You know when you're cooking potatoes and it's potato water. And when you strain that the water off your potatoes, one, you always need to be straining that off into a bowl, because after you strain your potatoes, you need to add a little bit back into your mashed taters, because that's what's going to give you that super creamy, super duper creamy mashed potatoes. If you did not know that, That is the key to amazing mashed potatoes, is put some of that water back in. It has all those starches in it. And this is thickening up pretty quickly on us. Let me get pouring here. And I did all my math. I need 300.75, so I'm going to go for the 300. Ooh, this will turn color real fast on us. Ooh, look at that. Poured over. That's okay. Probably the most boring part of Alive, watching me sit here and try not to over pour. You see the color change on the rhubarb though? Awesome, isn't it? You'll see another one here. You should see that. You should start to see some blues and purples popping up in there, mainly blues. So when I said I over poured on that rhubarb, that means that rhubarb is going to have, well, it'll have a little bit more of that pink color in our batch to deal with. And that one will be closer to, we'll have a lower super fat. It won't be zero super fat or light heavy. I'm not, I had enough oils going around to where I could, to where that wasn't a concern. But it will, this one will be a little bit higher super fat. So just because I over poured. I think I'm going to hand stir these because they did start to thicken up. So I'm just going to be incorporating the oils into the base batter. That actually went really fast. It is not so thick that I can't pour, but it is thickening up to a nice trace here for us, so we don't have to do so much waiting around for it to get. So what did I say? I was at 125 when I added the sodium hydroxide. That seemed to work really well with this recipe. Really like that. Okay, let's get more yellow to pink. I just love the color change on the rhubarb. I might hit each one of these with the stick blender once. Let's get them all sorted out there. Oh, look at that pretty color. So pretty, so pretty, so pretty. I really wonder what color our soap's going to come out, our base color, with the, oh, you see it going gray in there? Blue and gray with, blah, blah, blah. I really wonder what that potato water is going to do to our color of our base, which we'll see in that uncolored one when we cut this. Lovely, lovely blue, grayish blue on our alkanet here. And one more, our bright, shiny, happy orange. I don't think I need to hit these with a stick blender at all. Oh, this is awesome. So I've got a blog post up on the site about controlling trace, and you know, acceleration of trace isn't necessarily a bad thing. This is a great example. We just saved all sorts of stick blending time as long as we can keep moving by having our oils warmer. So there's a lot you can do to control your trace, whether you want it slower or faster, based on your oils. I need to remember that. I'll have to scroll back. I think I was at 128 when I added the sodium hydroxide, but I'll have to skim back on the live and see what I said I was. Talk about an easy way to make notes and remember what the heck you did is record yourself soaping, right? Okay. Oh, this smells so good. I really love this blend. I'm not sure if the way I have it blended up is exactly how Penny does it. I had asked her years ago, and she had shared in I don't know if it was in our group or another group, her faux sandalwood blend, and it's really nice. I love it. So I am just in aroma heaven here. And yes, we need smell-o-vision for real. You know, they tried smell-o-vision as a real thing by pumping scent into movie theaters. I think that was like the 60s or 70s. Didn't work. People weren't all pretty into it, but still kind of funny. last one here. So the soaps with this kaleidoscope are so pretty. I mean, just so beautiful, but you do end up with a lot more dishes. I don't know, does anyone do these on a higher production capacity, these fancy designs? I've seen videos with Chas where she has a bunch, meaning more than one pipe set up, and she'll squeeze and pull through, and each one's a different disc, different color. I think that could help because you could do them all at once, but you'd need bottles big enough. I don't know. I think they're beautiful and they're a great design. I just wonder if they're viable for production or if it's more of a small scale specialty thing. If anyone does do these at a larger production, please let us know. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Let me get you where you can see. I hope you don't wobble here. I just want to tip the camera a bit here so you can see a little more down in. I don't know if I made it better or worse. Okay. Oh, there. You can see down real well. Okay, so hopefully you can see me do some of the pours. Let's do, I'm just looking to see, yeah. Okay. So there's the order. So now all I do, let's try these straws out. So the straws are nice because I can get all the way down to the bottom. If you look at the last one we did, the pipette didn't go all the way down to the bottom, so we had more of a drop swirl on the bottom half of the pipe, meaning the colors dropped into each other versus laying on top of each other. And in this one, yeah, they're already definitely sitting on top of each other. Just because that straw is so much longer. Can you see? You can kind of sort of see in there. Now it's hard seeing inside of a black tube. And then I'm sure my head's, yeah, you're getting the view of the top of my head. Huh. You'll be able to see more when I get closer to the top. But I'm just doing what I can to get the straw almost right on the surface without going down into it. And layering the colors up. I didn't get very centered on that last one there. But I mean, that's okay. And you just keep doing this one after the other. Oh yeah, these are sitting on top of each other so much nicer than they did last time. These straws are great. Yeah, definitely like the straws more so than the pipettes. You can kind of sort of start seeing it. I wonder if I zoomed in, if you'd be able to see a little better. Can I zoom in? I might be zoomed all the way. Yeah, I don't know if that helped you all out or not. What color did I do left? Okay, we're on the Alkanet. So I didn't get a chance to look to see who all is on the chat and popped in and watching. I didn't look at all your names. I just looked to see if there are any comments. But hello to anyone anyone there. And I will look for questions again. But I also, the reason why I mentioned that, for those of you who have not used these colors before, I think the biggest question is, how is this going to be purple? This Alkanet, how on earth is that going to be purple? Alkanet root, oh, we can talk about Bromwell. Alkanet and Bromwell root. There's been a lot of talk about Bromwell root in the group lately. Both have a color in them, Alkanet. Alkanet is a pH indicator, meaning it changes color as the pH changes. So at a neutral pH, so about 7, it is that wonderful mauve color that we saw at the beginning of the live here today, the one I had in my picture, that wonderful mauve color. That's the color of the infused oil. And you can also see that color in the root, the fresh root. I got those pictures up in the Anti-Alkanet and Alkanet Masterclass. And so at neutral, it's mauve. At a higher pH, above 10, I believe, it is blue. So that's what we saw happen here with it turn blue. It was actually continuing to turn. I'm just squeezing a little drop out if I can. It's turning kind of gray to blue. It'll get bluer as that pH continues to rise. And then the soap will set up. You'll cut it. And you'll be all sad that you don't have any purple soap yet. But you wait a day or two. And once your soap cures up, you will have purple. Because around a pH of 8, that of handmade soap, Alkanet, which is found in Alkanet root and Gromwell root, is purple. So that is why it's such a fun botanical to work with, is because all the color changes you get to see. You get that mauve, then it kind of goes gray to blue, and you get some really cool blues. Just fun to watch while you're making. And then it ends up with just really cool purples. Definitely one of the more complicated, not complicated, I guess that's the wrong word, challenging botanicals to use. Oh, but as far as a science magic show, it's the best. All right, I gotta say, Chas, I don't know if you were able to pop in today or not, but you were 100% right. These squeeze bottles are awesome. I've been sitting here squeezing small amounts with just one hand. So I was keeping I felt like I needed to keep my disc from moving around. I don't think I needed to though. And my hand is not sore at all. Mostly done. So I don't need the straws at this point, so I'm going to pump them off. I'll just tap. Oh yeah, I was able to get I'll get one more squeeze out of it. Well, look at that. This did not thicken up too much at all. Okay, there we go. Done. Yay. Look, isn't that pretty, all those layers you get in there? All right, now for the big finale, we shall say, all we got to do is pull it right on up. Love, love, love that. Oh my goodness. All right, so we will let this set up and we will unmold it. Might do that live with you tomorrow. I'll see what my time looks like. I am going to insulate, and you can go ahead and check out the last live where we did the Kaleidoscope Pour. That is up on YouTube in the Wet Soap Wednesday live. So it was the most recently updated, so it'll be down at the bottom of the playlist. And you will be able to see how I insulate these with my heating pad. Since I don't have an oven in my studio to seed pop them, I do countertop seed pop with a heating pad. And I'll just let this set up, and this will be ready to cut probably, but you know, it's 1 o'clock, 1:30 my time now. It usually takes about 5 hours for this formulation to set up for me. But I'll probably do it, you know, sometime tomorrow afternoon. And if I have the brain power, I will also pop on and do that live with you so you can see the cut. Definitely keep you updated on our pretty colors and what we get from them. I think I'll go ahead and see if I can scrape some of this out, put it into some heart molds for you so we can see a little bit of gel versus ungel comparison on some of these colors. But yeah, that is it. That is our potato kaleidoscope soap with that lovely mock sandalwood blend from Penny. All right, thanks, soapy friends. Thank you for hanging out with me. Hi, soapy friends. Welcome to a Wet Soap Wednesday follow-up on a Thursday. I'm your soapy friend, Kandra, and I have with me the soaps from yesterday's live. I'm real excited about them. So the main thing I wanted to show you are the colors. Do you remember when we poured these yesterday and they were this very murky, kind of grayish color? They have been turning blue, lovely blue. I almost wish I did this with you last night, but this was not ready to unmold. When these were a vibrant blue, they're starting to shift more towards purple. So they're darkening and getting a little more murky. These are just over pours that I told you I would do from the bottle. I scraped them out. Here's our other colors. This is our base. And this is the rhubarb, this is the annatto, and then of course the alkanet. But check this out on the side here, down here, where this started to gel. I ended up not insulating this. But you see the color change from this color? Here, I'll just pop one of these suckers out. Whoop. And this area right here, that's alkanet as well. And it's shifting towards purple as the pH adjusts, and the gel phase makes that happen faster. So that's all the color variations between these lovely little hearts, even the top of our soap here, and down here where we're starting to see purple. So as this cures up, we'll see that color shift too. Super fun. But why don't we go ahead and cut this sucker up and see what our Kaleidoscope pour looked like. We definitely received better layering. You can see each of the steps of the layers with the thicker batter. And then over here you can see where I pulled. This is where the rod was. And I definitely had it pushed more towards the side of my pipe. You can see I scraped this side, where it looks like I probably didn't go through the very edge of these. I think these are going to be super cool. All right, let's go ahead and just shave off this little end piece here. Okay. Oh. Already looking super pretty. I think I'm going to shave a little more off that one just because I want the end piece, that full piece to have. Oh, very glad I did that. Check that out. Oh my goodness. All right, I'll cut and just place each one face up. And I'm just going to cut to just over an inch here. Probably end up with 9 bars. Oh. Oh, love. I love cutting these. It's always such a surprise each time. Look at that star pattern. So what it looks like happened, and I love this effect of kind of this gradient from light to dark, which we can see a lot more on this one here, And I think that's because I did not center the pour. So I poured the Alkanet a little more towards this size, and then I poured the Annatto a little more towards this side, just down on the bottom, but with that white centered up and just everything that happened. Look at that awesome kind of gradient effect we got with that. How cool is that? Oh my goodness. All right, that's the cut. I won't keep you much longer, soapy friends. Be sure to share any of your Kaleidoscope soap color palette ideas if you have any, or have any that you want to try. I'd love to see what colors everyone else is doing with them. I'm going to do this technique one more time for you on the next Wet Soap Wednesday Live, which will be week after next. And I'm going to do a one color pour, so it's going to be all shades of the same color. I don't know what color that is yet, but I will let you know once I find out, or if you have a request. I'm always up for requests. And if you want to learn more about how Alkanet changes in color and some more tips on Alkanet or creating purples without any Alkanet, be sure to check out the Anti-Alkanet and Alkanet Masterclass Live. It's available up on the website. And in the meantime, I'll leave you with these beautiful Kaleidoscope soaps. Thank you so much, Chas, with Wild Plantanica, for sending these discs over. We're having oodles of fun with them, and I can't wait to make more soap with you all. All right, until next time, soapy friends, happy soap making.